Aside from the colors and the shape of the head, the GFreD pretty much has the same construction, accessories, articulation, etc. as the high-grade GQuuuuuuX. I have a full review of that kit when it came out a couple of weeks ago, so you can check that out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more builds and reviews. See you in the next one. Jokes aside, today we're coming to a close for the high-grade kits I got for my first haul of gunpla since moving to Canada. In this video, we're taking a look at the very colorful high-grade GFreD. The GFreD wasn't really one of my favorite designs from the GQuuuuuuX series. I primarily bought it to complete the mobile suits of the anime's main friend group, Machu, Shuji, and Nyan. And finally, we're here with the third of the group. Like my other videos, I'll be going over a few points of the whole experience of putting this kit together. We'll go through the unboxing, basically getting our first impression of having this kit in our hands. The build, is it fun, is it annoying? Seeing if there's anything cool or if there's something bad about the kit. The accessories we get after putting the kit together. The aesthetics, checking out how the kit is visually. The articulation, we go through all the joints and moving parts. And finally, the posing. We see how everything comes together and check if the finished product can be a decent display piece. Let's move on to the unboxing. Taking a look at the box art, you can see the GFreD in flight in space with the Zeknova cannon and some debris in the background. We have the model number at the bottom left reading GMS Kappa GFreD. The sides of the box show a cropped box art, and one of my favorite box features, one of the sides is rotated 90 degrees. It's not really a big deal, but there's just something about it that is so satisfying to me. On another side of the box, it shows the kit in a lot of action poses you would see in the anime, and this kit comes with a lot of accessories, some extra hands, an alternate head, and a core fighter. And then on the other side, it's just the fully built kit, the front and rear view. Opening the box, we only have 3 packs of runners. We get some stickers. If they're anything like the ones for the GQuuuuuuX, I'm going to like the look of them, but I'm just gonna hate putting them on because you really have to align them right. There's one foil sheet for some of the color correcting stickers, and then the matte finish sheet for sticker decals, but also this time for some of the color correcting stickers as well. I wonder why they decided to change it from the GQuuuuuuX that had color correcting stickers all on the foil sheet. Going back to the runner packs, there's a total of 7 runners, most of which are on the smaller side. Not a lot of parts to this build again, but the tinier pieces are gonna give me some work to do. I'm expecting this to be similar, if not the same, as building the high-grade GQuuuuuuX since the design is pretty identical. So with the unboxing out of the way, let's get to the build. As I expected, this kit really felt like building the high-grade GQuuuuuuX all over again. It's not completely the same. There are some small different pieces here and there, but it doesn't really change how most of the pieces fit together. After building 2 other high grades from the GQuuuuuuX series before this, I think I got used to working on tinier pieces. It pretty much felt normal cutting them out and working on the nubs. Like the other 2 kits I built, the plastic is pretty easy to work with. Only this time, the colors really got me excited to cut the pieces out and put things together. In terms of any imperfections, I guess it's just the theme of the high-grade GQuuuuuuX kits. Bandai tried to pack so much detail into a high-grade kit that I realized I couldn't really complain having some missing details. If this were a real grade or a master grade, this would be horrendous. But since other high grades don't even come close to how detailed these GQuuuuuuX kits are, this is actually pretty amazing. That said, they give us the sticker sheets to apply more of the missing colors. Pretty much the same feel as the GQuuuuuuX and the Red Gundam. But this time I hated the eye stickers. These come in long pieces that you have to use to cover nicely molded details. I wish they just stuck to the smaller ones we saw in the GQuuuuuuX and Red Gundam kits. And the decals, again, they either fold or fully wrap around some parts. so they're not as easy as just putting symbols on a Gundam with flat surfaces. And luckily, because I was prepared for it this time, I didn't mess up the metallic ones that go on the upper chest. Now, in terms of seam lines and mold lines, they're pretty much the same as the GQuuuuuuX. There are seams on the upper arm, the back of the thigh, and most of the backpack. There are also seams around the beam rifle. For mold lines, the only obvious ones I could find are the ones on the backpack again. So let me know in the comments if you've already built this and you've found more. For the nubs, there aren't any super intrusive ones. You'll definitely find some exposed if you look as closely as you can, but you won't really notice them too much. You just really have to be careful about the darker plastic, because like any other kit, they tend to mark more than lighter colored plastic. Overall, I think the high-grade GFreD is a really fun build that takes about 4 to 5 hours in total if you care about nub marks, probably shorter if you didn't, and even shorter if you skip the stickers. Before we talk about the accessories, if you've enjoyed this review of the high-grade GFreD so far, please leave a like below. And if you've watched more than one of my videos, please consider subscribing. It would really help a lot. Thanks. For the accessories, there's a good amount again. They give you 2 sets of hands, the open ones are on the kit already, and some holding hands for the weapons. It comes with 2 really cool looking beam sabers. The beam effects are in this glittery purple, and the handles are in this really vibrant blue-green. You can store the handles on the butt when not in use. It also comes with a beam rifle, which I also like the look of. The same shape as the one with the GQuuuuuuX, but with the white part swapped with blue-green. And then we have the shield. The shape gives it an interesting look, but the color really doesn't work for me too much. And to use it, you just attach it onto the wrist like so. The kit comes with an alternate head in the opened mode. If I remember correctly, it's when the GFreD's Psychomu system is fully activated. We also get a few more extras like the base adapters for the ears that deploy as bits. I doubt I'll ever use them since they don't really look like anything. And lastly, you also get the same core fighter as the GQuuuuuuX, just in a different-ish color. It doesn't come with its own stand, but there is a mounting point under the waist if you somehow have a Bandai action base or anything that can fit in there. The beam saber handles have storage options, but you're gonna have to keep the other accessories somewhere else while not in use. Except this time they gave the GFreD an action base adapter for rifle storage. Doesn't really look the best in my opinion, but I guess enough people complained when the GQuuuuuuX came out, because the GQuuuuuuX didn't even have this. So yeah, this kit comes with a lot of stuff. Now let's talk about the aesthetics. The one thing that sets this apart from other high grades, or even other mobile suits in general, is how colorful it is. Usually colorful mobile suits are in a singular color, like how the red Gundam is, but the GFreD has so much going on. There are 2 shades of purple, 3 shades of green, with pops of orange and red here and there. I've seen people make comments about how it's an eyesore, but personally I really like it. It does a really good job of standing out from a Gunpla collection, since most of the time Gunpla kits have the usual red, blue, yellow, white, or some kind of subdued or tactical colors. And then adding to the colors, it also has the unique GQuuuuuuX silhouette, so putting the silhouette and the colors together, I just love looking at it. So overall, even with some annoying color applications and some missing details, this high-grade GFreD model is pretty easy to build and it looks great. Here's the high-grade GFreD, up with a few others from my collection. The high-grade GQuuuuuuX, the Master Grade RX-78-2 version 3.0, the Master Grade Charge Zakutu 2.0, the Master Grade Cublé, my Gundam Gashapon, Freeren Gashapon, some Energizers, a mug, my fake plant, my real plant, and finally my previous most recent review, the high-grade Red Gundam. Pretty small compared to my main Master Grade collection, but man, it stands out. Okay, so let's go through all the joints of the high-grade GFreD. It's not really going to be any different from the high-grade GQuuuuuuX over there, but I'll show you anyway. Starting with the head, it can go up this far and it can go down this far because of all the ball joints. It can swivel all the way around. There's quite a bit of movement in the shoulder here. There's this first mechanism that makes the shoulder, you can see that shoulder plate there, go up and down like so. There's also another joint in there that can make it move forward and back. And then it's on a peg so it can move all the way around like so. This shoulder armor can also hinge up and down Getting that out of the way, the whole shoulder can make the arm go up this far really good. There's a swivel on the upper arm, a nice elbow bend. This cuff thing at the wrist can swivel as well all the way around. That's where you attach the shield. And then of course, high-grade hands are on ball joints, so you can wiggle them around and swivel. There are ball joints in the middle and the bottom of the torso, so it can go all the way around like so. And because of those ball joints, you can get an ab crunch pretty far. And an arch pretty far back too. It also gives you a bit of side bending. The hip joints are ball joints into the waist, and there's a hinge going outward, as well as a swivel to the upper thigh. Given that there's no skirting armor on this, you'd think that moving this around would be unrestricted, but because of this thing, this thigh armor here, you can't really go all the way around. When you try to go around, it's gonna flare out to the side. And doing the splits, because of these gray parts again, you can't really do them outright. You're gonna have to twist the leg like so. But that said, you can still get this leg to pose in pretty dynamic directions. The knee just hinges, but it folds pretty well. This thruster ankle thing is on a ball joint, so you can wiggle that all around. And then the actual foot-toe thing can swivel here. And then the backpack, there's just a bunch of swivels. You can swivel in this orientation, you can swivel these arms like so. And then you also have one more swivel here. You can point it any which way. So like the other GQuuuuuuX kits that I have, it's a really good articulation. Posing the high-grade GFreD is pretty much as good as with the GQuuuuuuX. With how great the articulation is, you can do so many different action poses. And you can get it to do more dynamic poses if you want to mount it on a stand or an action base. Personally, I had a lot of fun doing group poses with the GQuuuuuuX and Red Gundam. I'm a sucker for having mobile suit teams or groups together. Trying the poses done on the box isn't a problem, except for when the bits are deployed, because you're gonna have to use so many of your action stands. But don't let the poses on the box stop you. You can definitely pull off more exciting poses than these. Overall, the high-grade GFreD is a good-looking model kit, depending on who you ask, and it has impressive articulation. The build is pretty short, and you can even skip the stickers if you want. It's definitely a build to do if you're looking for a break from the usual white and blocky Gundam designs. Again, the articulation of the high-grade GFreD is impressive, which gives it a lot of fun posing options. So it would definitely make the finished product look great on any shelf or any collection. With all the pros and cons, if you're a fan of the GFreD, or if you just think it looks good in general, I'd say this high grade would be a really good purchase. Thanks for watching! If you built this kit or have thoughts on it, let me know in the comments. Speaking of comments, I want to give a quick shout out to Hobbyworks by Rani for their comment in my previous video. They're a longtime friend of this channel. I really do appreciate the support, man. Finally, if you've liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more builds and reviews. See you in the next one.